let's spill the tea on all the products I'm not buying, aka coffee, because I don't drink tea unless it's sweet tea, because your girl from the South gotta drink some sweet tea. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I am doing an anti-hauls video, and this is the first one I've ever done on my channel. I've seen quite a few go around the internet and I was like, you know what? A lot of you guys have asked me to buy this, buy that, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy it. So now I get to sit here and tell you why I'm not going to buy it. So if you guys want to see what I'm not interested in buying and maybe to save your own coin, then definitely keep on watching. Before we jump into today's video, I do want to talk on a serious matter that was brought to my attention. One of my beautiful subscribers actually lives in Australia, and she was telling me about all the fires that are going on in Australia. I had no idea about it, and it's actually incredibly sad. Like, I live in the United States, obviously. I don't really report on what's going on around the world, and when she brought up to my attention that there are so many fires, I literally wanted to just talk to you guys about it. There are millions of homes and people that are in danger, and there are 24 million people that do live in Australia. And what's really sad, what's going on with the animals, like, oh, it breaks my heart. It says, she told me that the entire East Coast is on fire. Why I haven't heard anything about it is just beyond me, but there's a huge fire going on. Just kind of like when the government kept quiet about a fire that was going on in the Amazon. When it was on fire, like, no one talked about it. It took them a while. It's on fire for weeks before it finally got brought to national news. And so right now there's a huge fire going on in Australia. It's one of the worst fires they had in a decade over in Australia, and it's just, it's really devastating, and I really hope that people can send help. I don't know how I can help myself. Maybe there's like a place that I can donate. And what's really, really sad is that she told me there are hundreds of koala bears that have died because of the fire. And that is so devastating because they're already on the brink of extinction, and the fact that they're dying because of a fire is like, oh God. The koala bears, they also been showing photos, and I'll actually link some photos right up here for you guys, how the koala bears never really approach humans in the wild. They get really scared because they're apprehensive about who this is. They've actually been going up to humans and trying to find help. Like, someone actually, there's a photo where a person is giving water to a koala bear, and that says a lot if they're willing to walk up to a stranger asking for help. That shows you that they know how bad the situation is. So I just want to bring this to attention to you guys and let you guys know there is a huge fire going on over there, and to give a shout out to all the firefighters and the volunteers that are trying so hard to combat the fire, to save the animals, to give back to the community. And if there's any way that I can help out, let me know in the comments below, because I definitely would like to donate something to bring awareness to this cause, because it's really sad what's going on, and I just wanted to bring it to you guys' attention. So with that said, let's go ahead and dive into today's video. I know quite a bit of you guys are gonna ask what I'm wearing on my lips. I'm actually wearing the Dose of Color Date Night. I got this in my BoxyCharm that I just did on my video, which I just did on my channel, which I'll put the video right up here. Seriously, y'all, this is like everything. Truly, this is such a beautiful color. And then on my actual eyes, I'm wearing my Stila Glitter and Glow Smoky Storm. It's just a liquid eyeshadow. I wanted to be really lazy today and not do much of an eye look because I have a really bad sore throat. I'm not feeling the best, and I did not want to do an intense look, and then I ended up doing an intense look, sort of. But this makeup took like 5 minutes to do, so it was so easy, and I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go ahead and do something super easy that I don't have to really worry about. So, I decided to take a break from Disney Plus, because Disney Plus just rolled out on Tuesday, and I've done nothing but binge watch all the Disney classic movies, because I was raised in the 90s, so all the classics are like my go-to. The first movie I watched was Hercules, because I love Hercules. Now, I hate musicals, but I love Hercules because the Gospel Girls, they got me. They're jams. Like, I'm all about Disney classics. Then I watched Pocahontas, and I watched Toy Story, and then I watched Don't Look Under the Bed. Now, Corey was really creeped out by that movie because, like, why would you ever want to watch this? First off, it was a Disney original classic. I watched it and I was like, I don't know, 6 or 7 years old, because it came out in the early 90s, and it was about this girl that stopped believing in her imaginary friend, and he became the boogeyman and lived under her bed and did all this chaos in town. And I always loved that movie, and I haven't seen it since I was a little girl, so I wanted to watch it because I saw it was on there. I was like, oh fuck, this is on here, how great is this? I got so excited. I watched it, and Corey's like, you are probably the only person in the world that's watched this movie since Disney Plus got released. And I was like, you know what, I'd be proud to be that person. I also saw Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. You already know I'm watching watching it along with like the 13th Year, Smart House, like all the old Disney classic movies. I was like, oh my god, I was so happy about. So I decided to take a break from streaming to come on here and film for you guys because I love getting on camera and filming for you guys. It's one of my favorite things to do. I have such a passion for it, and if I had the ability, I would literally sit on here every single day and talk to you guys, but I feel like you guys maybe will get annoyed at seeing me every single day, but I want to come as much as often. I want to come here as much as often. Ooh, my mind went a little dirty there. So let's go ahead and get into this anti-hauls video. I don't really know how this works. I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube, but I've never really like done one myself. So I'm just gonna like look at Trend Mood. She is an influencer that I follow on Instagram, and she has all the new releases that come out prior to them even being like released. She tells you what's coming out, when it's coming out, when it actually gets released. She has linked everything for it. Like, she is like the go-to beauty guru of when you want to find out when products are getting launched. So I was on her website and I was like, all right, let me go ahead and find out like what is coming out, what's not coming out, to see whether or not I want to buy it. So the first thing that I saw, and a lot of you guys asked me if I was gonna get this, it was the new James Charles mini eyeshadow palette. You guys asked me in the Battle of Palettes if I could battle the James Charles Morphe palette to the James Charles mini Morphe palette. And let me tell you guys why I'm not buying that. So this is my James Charles Morphe palette. All right, let's take a look at it. You guys see that? Yeah, I barely use this eyeshadow palette. I think I've used it like 3 or 4 times in total ever since I got it. I've never really picked it up. Honestly, the reason why I got it is because my best friend Kayla was like, you should really get this, film this for your channel. This came out a year ago, and this is when I was just getting back into YouTube, and she's like, you really should get the palette, maybe it can bring you a couple views. It didn't. I got like 200 views on that video, and honestly when I look back on that video and look at my eye look, I'm like, oh god, like I literally did like such an atrocious eye look. It was horrible. I did not like how it turned out, and I bet you I could do a better version of it now. But I got the palette and it was cool. I didn't realize that it sold out so quickly and it was so hard to get. And then when I went to the Morphe opening in Tampa and got to meet Jaclyn Hill, they rolled out all these palettes and it sold out again so quickly. And I was like, damn, why is everybody getting like this? Like, I mean, I get that it's cool, they wanted to support him, but I was like, damn, everybody's like all obsessed with James Charles. He's cool, I really do respect his work. He's just someone that I haven't really watched religiously. But I got the eyeshadow palette. It's cool. I used like 3 or 4 times, like I said, but nothing that I really gravitate to. It's not my favorite palette. So when I saw the mini, I was like, why would I spend the money on the mini palette when I know I would never get a use out of it? Like, I barely touch the big one as it is. There's no way I'd want to sit here and mess with the little one. Like, it'd just be a waste of money. It'd be cool to battle the palettes, but if I'm honest, I would legit just buy it to go and return it right after the video be over. Like, that's a palette that I would not keep in my collection at all. Just nope, have no drive for it. Plus, it's $26. Get out of here. I could buy better stuff than that. All right, so the next one is the new 2 mini On The Run Urban Decay eyeshadow palettes. I saw this and I was like, no, not gonna buy that because they are, I don't even know what the price is. They don't even have a price point on here. But I saw them and I was like, you know what? I never got the original like On The Run eyeshadow palette. I'm not a big fan of Urban Decay. I've never been a big fan of Urban Decay. I like their setting sprays and I really do love their honey palette. Oh my god, that is such an amazing palette. Like, that was one of my favorite looks to do. I'll link that video right up here for you guys. And I loved that palette. But all the other palettes prior to that just really were shitty. Like, the quality is really shitty. The shadows are not blendable. They're not buildable, and they don't really have much pigment to it and have a lot of fallout. The shimmers were useless to me, and I was like, why would I invest the money in the little mini ones so I know that I'd never really pick it up? I would just get it for a video, then I probably will go return it. I feel like they're gonna put my face in the stores and be like, yo, send this bitch back. All she does is just return shit. Yeah, you're right, I do. So the next eyeshadow palette is from BH Cosmetics, and it's the Fairy Light, and it's their holiday collection that rolled out inside Ulta. It's a $20 eyeshadow palette with 20 shadows, which is $1 per shadow, which is a great investment. But I do like BH Cosmetics. It's just this eyeshadow palette just did not scream out to me. Like, BH is cool, it's a very affordable brand, but if I had to compare it to ColourPop, I feel like ColourPop is just, it has more oomph to it than BH Cosmetics does. So when I saw this, I was like, pass, don't want to waste my $20 on it. Alright, so the next one is the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. This is a $67 palette. Whew, I debated so hard whether or not to get this palette. You guys asked me religiously to buy this palette, and I was like wanting to, but then I wanted to get the Tati Beauty so I could do a giveaway with that, to do the Shane Dawson collection, so I did not have the funds to buy this. However, ever since working with Alter Ego Cosmetics, and they do such an amazing dupe of the Huda Beauty palettes, I was like, ooh, I don't want to invest $67 in this palette, especially since I'm praying that Alter Ego does a dupe for it so I could just have it there. I've really virtually not messed with Huda Beauty. Let me show you something. This is my Desert Dusk eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. Look at this right here, ready? Y'all are about to get an exclusive on my channel. Look at this, okay? This has never even been used. I've never even touched this eyeshadow palette. I don't even know why I never touched it. I really should touch it, maybe make a video on it, why I never used it, like a retro eyeshadow review, but I've never actually touched this eyeshadow palette. And the reason being is that I bought this before I got back into YouTube. I bought it just for myself as a, oh excuse me, I bought it for myself as like a piece of luxury item to have in my collection. I thought it was such a gorgeous eyeshadow palette. My best friend Kayla raved about it, said how wonderful it was, and I was like, okay, well, I really do want to play around with it. When I got it, I was like, oh my god, it's so luxurious. I don't even want to mess with it because I'm so scared of ruining it. So I've literally just left it in my collection, nice and sealed, put it in its box because I just was like a piece of luxury I had that I did not want to mess with. And now that I've really gotten into doing this channel and got back into makeup, I'm like, oh my god, I could totally play with that anytime. So it's why I didn't want to get the Retrograde because I barely play with this palette. I know I might not play with that palette as much. And then I watched Teresa's Dead review on it and she said it was okay, but not really worth buying. So I listened to her and I was like, thanks for saving me the money. All right, so the next one is from Violet Voss, and this is the Oh Snap eyeshadow palette. This is a new holiday collection. It's the Oh Snap Gingerbread Mini Palette by Violet Voss. It's $18. You get 10 shades in here. I do not like Violet Voss. I get them all the time in my box of charm and I never keep them. I always am doing a giveaway for them. Why I don't like them, I don't know. There's just, the brand never really called out to me, and when I did use one of the first shadows I tried, it was alright. I didn't really care for the shadows. I didn't care for the mattes, the shimmers, and the metallics. It's just something that never really stood out to me, and so I get told all the time to really give it another try from you guys, and maybe I will, but I would probably do it when a shadow, like when an eyeshadow palette screams out to me like, bitch, freaking try it. Like if it's a green eyeshadow palette, all greens, I'm like, alright Violet, I'll try ya. But until then, I'm like, yeah, pass. Alright, so the next one is from Maybelline. This is their Dream Radiant Liquid Hydrating Foundation. I really wanted to try this, but it is a radiant coverage lightweight foundation, and it does retail for $10.99, and it was a pre-sale available on Amazon. I wanted to get this, but it's a radiant foundation. I am an oily ass bitch. Grease city over here, especially living in Florida where we have really high humidity. I sweat because of it and you get greasy looking and cakey, and it's not a good time. So unfortunately I saw this and I was like, oh, I guess I can't get that because it does have a natural finish, but it's supposed to be a radiant foundation, so it's supposed to have like a dewy glowy look. Not for me, because my natural oil will do that for me in about a couple hours. I would not want to invest in this because I know that I'll look even worse. And what's really upsetting is that CoverGirl just released theirs as well, and it's another radiant, you know, dewy freaking foundation, and I'm like, why can't people make stuff for oily girls? Like, I don't get it. Like, I get that it's the dry season because it's winter, but at the same time there's still oily girls like me out here that are suffering, going, hey, dryness, please come my way. Like, come. Like, I embrace the winter season in Florida, but you can still freaking bet I get oily. There's no such thing as a break here in Florida on your skin. The only time I ever got dry and like dry looking was when I went to Maine, because it's like literally such dry weather. It was below 10 degrees, there's no humidity. My foundation looked flawless. I was like, oh my god, who is this bitch? I got so excited at how amazing my skin looked. I mean, I was that person that was like constantly looking in the mirror like this, like just staring at myself in the mirror, and like Alyssa and Corey were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh my god, my foundation though, for real. Like, look at it. I was just so proud. Here, I'm like, oh god, don't look at me like when I'm working because I'm so oily. So see all these brands going on dewy foundations. I'm like, come on, release stuff for oily girls. We exist, we're real. This is why if I ever create a beauty brand, or if I ever have like an Alley Cosmetics or something like that, No offense to my dry girls out there, my first product is going to be catered to oily girls. Like, I'm sorry, but I gotta stand up for us, I gotta stick up for us, and I would do like either a primer, a setting powder, or a foundation catered to oily skin, and then I'd branch out and do dry skin as well. But my first hit would have to be for my oily girls, because we gotta stick together. I feel like we're so few and far between. I get DMs all the time asking what foundation work for dry skin. I'm always like, oh god, I'm an oily bitch, I can't help you. There's just, every single product will work for you. Like, for me, I'm like struggling to find products. God. Alright, so the next thing I see is the new Anastasia Beverly Hills Nirvana collection. It is their mini pro palettes that are volume 1, volume 2, and they're $29 each. I saw this and I was like, no. One, I don't like the packaging. Like, it just looks, I don't know, it looks like it's on the cheaper side. And then when I saw the colors inside, I'm like, no, they just don't scream out to me. Like, you think that the orange one would, because that's the orange and greens, but again, I just don't like how it looks, especially since I look at these and I'm like, I have the pro palette that I can kind of recreate these little shadows with on my pro palette, and that was a $60 palette that I need to get more use out of, because I spent 60 freaking bucks on that palette. So when I saw these and they're $29, I'm like, no, for 9 shadows, $29, I can go to ColourPop and get 9 shadows for 12 bucks. That would probably work the same, if not better. So I was like, pass. Not wasting my money on that at all. So the next one is from Milk Cosmetics, and it is their full holiday collection that was inspired by Mexican culture. I saw this and I really wanted to get it. I thought it was a beautiful collection, but unfortunately I did not have the funds for it. And Milk Cosmetics makes beautiful eyeshadow palettes, but they tend to run out rather quickly and they sell out and then take forever to restock. So unfortunately I did not get my hands on this. I don't know if it's sold out or not, because I just didn't even want to bother looking, because it's just very depressing that I couldn't buy this. It is a very gorgeous collection, and getting 2 eyeshadow palettes, it was like so cool. Like, I would have done either or done like one look on each, but it's something I definitely wanted to check out, but I just didn't have the funds to do it. So unfortunately I do have to pass on this, but it is a very, very beautiful collection, one I wish I really could have gotten. Alright, so the next one I see is another holiday palette from Urban Decay. This is the Party Favor Moon Dust palette that retails for $29. You get 6 shades in here. I'm sorry, but this just looks stupid. Like, the colors just look stupid. They're all sparkly shimmers, and I don't like the packaging. I'm pretty sure I would not like how the actual shadows themselves perform, just because I'm not the biggest fan of Urban Decay. I saw this and I laughed and said, pass on this. Like, not even like, I like scrolled past it and I was like, no. Not even interested. Alright, so another one that I saw was a new Pat McGrath Mothership 5 Divine Rose eyeshadow palette. It is a really gorgeous eyeshadow palette, but it is $120. I only own one Pat McGrath palette, and my sister gave it to me last year for Christmas, and I was so surprised when she gave it to me, because I was like, first off, how do you know Pat McGrath? Like, how did you know how to get that? And I really liked how the eyeshadows perform, but it's $120. Like, that would pay my electricity bill. I'd rather pay my electricity bill than get that eyeshadow palette, especially since these colors are so pretty, but they're more neutral tones, and I can get the same look sort of using other palettes at a more affordable rate than investing my money at this. At this point, when it comes to her, you are spending the money on the name, and as pretty as it is, it's just something that I don't think I could ever really invest in. Like, I probably won't buy Pat McGrath for myself, because I can never justify spending $120 on an eyeshadow palette. Like, I can't. That's just like so insane to me. But bless all those who do. You are lucky. Alright, so the next eyeshadow palette is the Morphe Electric Nights 39L Hit the Lights eyeshadow palette. I saw this and it's so cool that 4 different influencers came together to build this eyeshadow palette. You could do like in segments how they designed it. And it's a really cool concept, but I saw the colors and I was like, oh, it kind of looks like the James Charles palette. Like, it really does look like the James Charles palette. It did not speak out, it did not call to me, it did not vibe to me, and I saw it and I was like, as cool as this would be to review, I know that I would not really touch this palette other than reviewing it for you guys, because I have these colors in other palettes and I don't know, it doesn't like hit me, it doesn't spark me, it doesn't want me to hit the lights with it. Like, I saw it and I was like, yeah, pass. I already have these colors and it's cool, but no thanks. Oh my god. Okay, so here we go with another freaking ColourPop. ColourPop coming at it again. ColourPop X Pony's Makeup, and this is the Biddy collection. It's a cool collection. I'm so glad they're working with an influencer, but I saw this and I was like, no. just did not call out to me, and I was like, here we go again, ColourPop rolling out with another freaking collection every single week. Like, I love ColourPop, but it's getting to the point now where I'm starting to get over ColourPop. Like, they're releasing so much stuff that it's just becoming too much, and because they're releasing so much stuff, I'm kind of like, I don't even want to buy them anymore because you're releasing too much. You're literally releasing too much. I'm having a very hard time keeping up with, and it's just becoming not enjoyable because by the time that I actually receive the collection, you've already rolled out 2 other collections because they take like 2 weeks to freaking send you your stuff, and at that point they've already launched 2 other products, and you're like, well, at this point, this collection is now irrelevant. Like, no one's gonna give a shit about it because you took forever to give it to me, and you're releasing stuff every goddamn Thursday. I'm over it. But I mean, if you want to send it to me in PR, hey, I'll take it in PR. I won't mind that. All right, so another one is going to be the Laura Lee Los Angeles Glaze and Bronze Holiday Collection. It came out with 2 different highlighter palettes and 3 liquid lips. I actually own Cat's Pajama and Nudie Batootie from Laura Lee. I have never tried her liquid lips, but those eyeshadow palettes, they're cool. I just played around with them like once or twice, and I only bought it to support her, but I don't know. Her collection just doesn't call out to me anymore. It's not very like out there going and shining, and I think it's cool that she has a brand, and I'm gonna like give props to her, but her stuff is just very lackluster to me, and I just doesn't scream out to me. And those who got it, by all means, that's great, but I feel like she should definitely invest more into her brand and make more colorful, exciting stuff. Because I know that like one time, like in BoxyCharm, they sent out the Party Animal palette. I saw that. I didn't even use it. I put it in a giveaway box and gave it to somebody else because I was like, I'm kind of over it. All right, the next collection is the We're Going Coconuts from ColourPop. I saw this and I said, fuck no, I am not buying that. It's literally a neutral eyeshadow palette. Literally had no use for it, did not want to invest in it, and I was like, there's so many of them that, you know, and not to mention this is rolling out on the 14th. No, this is rolling out on the 13th, and then their Frozen collection rolling out on the 15th. They have 2 launches in 1 week. I was like, no, I am not getting that eyeshadow palette. I got it. I got the collection, and the only reason why I got the collection is because I'm going nude here in my lips, and y'all didn't even tell me that my lips were starting to adjust a little bit. Embarrassing. So sorry, guys, had to stare at that. Sorry for being so unprofessional right there, so sorry. A couple of you guys actually tagged me in the post saying that you guys cannot wait to see me review it, and I was like, all right. I do not own really any nude or neutral palettes from ColourPop. I pretty much have all their monochromatic color schemes, and they're all like vibrant out there. I don't really have anything like nudie like that. Plus, I do love my Tati Beauty Neutrals eye palette so much, and I know that it's not released right now. So I figured I'd get this because it is a $12 affordable eyeshadow palette. It is a neutral palette, so it can be versatile for anybody and everybody. And I was like, you know what? I can get this because I know people want to see it. It'd be nice to have a neutral eyeshadow palette that is affordable that I can do looks with and tell you guys all about it. So I did buy it. It probably won't be here for 2 weeks from now. And by the time you guys see it, you guys probably be like, oh, I forgot they even did that, because they'll have the Frozen and they'll have whatever Little Mermaid collection next week. Like, I don't know. They'll be rolling out different collections each week. So, you know, we'll see. But I did buy it. I mean, this is an anti-haul video, but I bought it. Okay, so the next one is the Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics. So it looks to be like she's rolling out with a highlighter, and it's rolling out the 26. Ooh, Jaclyn Hill. This is a really scary one for me, and I'm gonna be completely real. I said in my last video about her that I would never support her brand because of how she handled everything. She handled everything so piss poor. Is not how a CEO should have handled the company, and she just kind of ran from it, ignored it, acted like it didn't exist, and I lost a lot of respect for her as a person in that way. But I also did say, as a woman, I still would support her as a woman and as just a person in general, because I do have compassion, and I feel really bad for how everything got handled, and it was such a shit show. And I know that if I get it, I'm gonna get a lot of hate just for supporting her, but I know that if I like it, I'll get hate. If I don't like it, I'll get hate. Either way, I know that I'm gonna get hate on that video if I do it or not. So I am really deciding, but I do want to, like, part of me does want to give her a second chance because everybody deserves a second chance. Like, in reality, like, if I fucked up, I'd want people to give me a second chance. It's about how you grow from a situation that really defines you as a person, and I hope that this time around she's learned from her mistakes. Granted, I don't know how she could have gotten a different lab and got everything, like, started in the works 5 months from everything happened. I feel like that's too short of a time, so I think that this is working prior to her lipstick scandal. Hopefully it's in a different lab. I believe she says in a different lab, but I'm not entirely sure. But there's a part of me that really does want to get it, to give her a second chance and to try it out. And it's supposed to be a highlighter, and I know that she did really well with her Becca Champagne Pop back in the day. Like, she did such a great collection then, so I want to get it, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna get hated on. But at the same time, I mean, if I get hated on, fuck it, I'm used to it at this point. Like, I just want to, we'll see how it looks. Another reveal comes out today, so we'll see if I really want to get it. And if I do, you guys will see a video on it. If I don't, well, you guys won't see a video on it, but it might be in my anti-haul video, I don't know. So the next one is from the Kylie Cosmetics. It's their new holiday collection. Doesn't really have much information on it other than it's a 16 shade eyeshadow palette that comes out soon. I'm definitely not gonna get it because I don't get any of the Kylie Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. I got one palette from her. I really did like it. Ever since watching Shane Dawson's video about how makeup's produced, knowing that Kylie, like, buys her stuff at like $2 to $3 and then upsells it to like 50 bucks. It's such an insane markup to me, and I just feel like her products are not really worth the markup price. They're cool, but she rolls out with so much stuff at this point that I'm just like, it's oversaturated for me, kind of like ColourPop. And I'm like, pass. Like, she makes great liquid lips, but her eyeshadows are not as great as her liquid lips are. So I'd still buy her lip products, but the eyeshadows, no. Another one is going to be the new Round 2 KK Mario collection with Kim Kardashian and Makeup by Mario. I really do like Makeup by Mario. I do actually have the first palette from their first collab. It's a really pretty palette, but it was nothing that stood out to me. It was very basic packaging. I did a video on it. Actually, I'll not, you know, I don't even know if I want to link that video because older videos suck. But I don't really know if I want to like get this collection just because I didn't really, I used that eyeshadow palette one time and that was it. I never really used it since. The lipstick stuff I really did like. I used the lipstick in the gloss that I got. Camera just told me to freaking shut up and shut off on me. But I just never really used the stuff. I used the liquid lip and the glosses, but other than that, I haven't really invested in the eyeshadow palette. So I saw the colors, they're pretty looking, but nothing that really stood out to me. I'm not really a big fan of KKW Beauty to begin with. I just never really use the products. I'm just not really a fan of it. So honestly, I'm gonna pass on that. I know they are constantly releasing more holiday stuff. Like, there's so many out there, and I'm sure this video can go on and on and on, but I just want to do a quick video of makeup that I'm not gonna buy and why I'm not buying it, so now you guys kind of have an idea of why I don't want to invest my money in that. I just feel like, you know, the market is so saturated, and I just wish I pulled back as many releases. Like, they release so much at one time. Like, I get that they're trying to like get everything out there. As a consumer, it's so overwhelming to sit here and have a new release every single week that I get so overwhelmed that I'm like, fuck it, I'm not buying anything because it's just so much. I'm like, I just don't want anything. If they space things out a lot more, then I'd be more inclined to want to buy it because it makes me excited. But like ColourPop, I love ColourPop, but them releasing stuff every single week, sometimes twice a week, it's just a little overwhelming, especially for the bank. And I'm like, you're making it to the point where I'm not even interested in anything you have to offer at this point because it's just so much. And Anastasia Beverly Hills, like, I really do love that brand, but because they start doing exactly like ColourPop has done, they release stuff so quickly, I'm like, okay, now you gotta pull back. Like, your guys releasing too much at one time. It's not exciting. And all the holiday launches, they're so cool. I really do admire them, but there's just so many of them are so overwhelming that I just, you know, I think for now I'm kind of good on what I have and what I'm not having, and I really do kind of like doing different videos. I love doing my review videos, but it's fun to kind of branch out into, you know, battle the palettes, battle the boxes, anti-hauls, like my assumptions. It's fun to like branch out a little bit. I am going to go to Ulta soon and do a whole Ulta haul and maybe do like a full face of drugstore products because you guys have asked me repeatedly to do a full face of drugstore products because I know that you guys are like me. You guys are on a budget. Most of you guys live paycheck to paycheck, and you guys are struggling financially like me, and it's kind of nice to find a video that you can relate to and that you guys can follow along with. So I'm gonna go and find a full face of makeup to do, but I have to go find the best foundation. Like, I already know what the best foundation is that I use every single day that I go to work. It's my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte foundation. If I don't wear this, I wear my Charlotte Tilbury, but I try to save my Charlotte Tilbury foundation for the days that I'm not working because that is my favorite foundation and I don't want to go through it so quickly. But this right here, this is like an $11 foundation. I wear this every single day to work. I'm actually wearing it in this video right now. This is my go-to. It is not a holy grail at containing the oil. Like, I still get oily throughout the day, but it's not a really bad looking oil. It's just a very like dewy looking oil. So now I look kind of like dewy, and then if I pat it down or like take a setting powder or blot it off with like tissue paper, it does go back to looking more natural finish, which I can definitely appreciate. So I'm gonna go to Ulta, see what I can find, do like a haul if I can, because someone amazing gave me a beautiful gift to Ulta, and I'm so excited to go there and have some fun with it. So I hope you guys like this style video. It's actually fun for me to sit here and do an anti-hauls. I hope I was entertaining, because by the time I always get done filming, I always forget what I talked about, and when I start watching myself back, I kind of make myself laugh, because I'm like, oh shit, I said that, you know. I always forget what I said. Like yesterday in my video, I said howdy do, and Corey's like, did you just say howdy do? I'm like, I sure did. I was like, well, howdy do, and I'm like, I don't even know where that came from, because I don't say that every single day, but it came out of me. You guys bring out the best in me, and if I'm not as lively in this video, just know it's because I don't feel good. I have a really bad sore throat. I'm getting sick, and my voice started going away last night, but I will still be here for you guys. Sickness or not, I mean, y'all get to still see this face. So I hope you guys like this style video. If you guys did, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do poop. Wow. I'm probably gonna have to have my coffee. But I do post 3 to 4 videos a week. Also, make sure you guys head on over to my other channel. It is Our Flirted Life. You guys can see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing fiance Corey. And as always, guys, I can never thank you enough for all your love and support. It seriously does not go unnoticed. You guys have no idea how much it means to me. I love you guys with all my heart, and as long as you guys show up, I will show up, always. So thank you guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in the very next video. Bye! My voice is going. Jesting. Oh god, my voice. My voice. Okay. Makeup. Are you eating my flowers? Jace. Hey, don't eat my flowers. Rude. Then when I went to the Jaclyn Hill, I wanted to do the James Charles Emerald Oil. No offense to all my dear.